Hello friends, my name is Ryan. I'm going to tell you a story named The Ghost Train of Rajasthan, Passengers Trapped Between Life and Death, which is a very amazing story full of twists. So, let's start. It was a chilly winter night in Rajasthan, and the vast desert lay silent under the moonlit sky. The only sound piercing the stillness was the distant whistle of a train, the Palace Express. This train had a history, an eerie one. Legends whispered that it had once vanished mysteriously for an entire night, reappearing at dawn with no memory of its whereabouts. No one knew what had happened, but passengers who travelled on it often spoke of strange occurrences. Some dismissed them as mere tales, while others swore they had seen things they could not explain. Rohit, a young journalist, had always been fascinated by unsolved mysteries. He had heard about the haunted Palace Express and decided to embark on a journey to uncover the truth. With his notebook and camera, he boarded the train from Jaipur, determined to document everything. As the train chugged forward into the darkness, the atmosphere inside was lively. Families chatted, vendors moved around selling snacks, and children peeked out of the windows, marveling at the endless desert. Rohit took his seat by the window, his eyes scanning the passengers. A middle-aged couple sat opposite him, a group of college students laughed loudly a few rows ahead, and an elderly man quietly sipped his tea. Everything seemed normal, too normal. The first sign of strangeness came when the train approached an old, abandoned station named Pali Junction. The train was not scheduled to stop there, yet it slowed down as if an unseen force had commanded it. Rohit felt a sudden chill in the air. The lights flickered, and for a brief moment, everything fell silent. Then, a loud knock echoed through the train compartment. It wasn't coming from the door, but from the window. Rohit turned his head sharply. Outside, amidst the fog, stood a man dressed in an old railway uniform, his face partially obscured by the shadows. He was motioning for someone to open the window. Rohit's heart pounded. No one else seemed to notice. He blinked, and the man was gone. The train resumed its journey, but Rohit couldn't shake off the unease. He leaned toward the elderly man sitting across from him and asked, "Did you see that man outside? The one knocking on the window?" The old man looked up, his eyes dark with knowledge. "You must ignore them," he whispered. "They are not meant to be seen." Before Rohit could ask anything further, the train gave a violent jolt, and the lights went out completely. Panic erupted in the compartment as passengers screamed. The train felt as if it were being pulled into another realm. The desert outside disappeared, replaced by a dense, eerie fog. Rohit clutched his seat tightly, his breath coming in gasps. When the lights flickered back on, the atmosphere had changed. The passengers appeared frozen in time, their expressions vacant. Rohit turned to the couple opposite him. They sat motionless, staring ahead as if in a trance. The laughter of the students had ceased, they were eerily silent. Even the tea vendor stood stiffly, his tray suspended mid-air. Rohit panicked. "Hello? Can anyone hear me?" He shook the shoulder of the man next to him, but he did not react. The entire train had turned into a lifeless husk. Then, a voice spoke, a deep, haunting whisper that filled the air. "You should not have come here, Rohit. This train does not belong to the living." Cold dread washed over him. "Who are you? What is happening?" The voice chuckled, an unsettling sound. "This is the journey of those trapped between life and death. They board this train but never leave. Now, you are one of us." Rohit refused to believe it. He grabbed his camera and tried to take a picture, but the screen showed only static. His instinct screamed at him to escape. He sprinted towards the next compartment, but when he opened the door, he found himself staring at the same carriage he had just left. It was an endless loop. His heart pounded. He had to do something. He remembered the tales of the train, how it had vanished once. Maybe there was a way to break the cycle. He closed his eyes and thought hard. The legend mentioned a name, a conductor who had perished long ago in a tragic accident at Pali Junction. His spirit was said to control the train. Summoning all his courage, Rohit shouted into the emptiness, "Conductor Sharma! If you can hear me, release us." The passengers don't belong here." Silence followed, heavy and suffocating. Then, the train screeched loudly, as if resisting his plea. The fog outside thickened, swirling violently. Rohit felt a force pulling him back, but he fought against it. "Let them go," he yelled. A piercing scream echoed through the train, followed by a sudden stillness. The lights flickered, and the fog began to lift. Slowly, the passengers started moving again, their eyes blinking in confusion. The train was back on its normal route, approaching Jaipur. Rohit exhaled deeply, his body trembling. Had he broken the curse? He glanced outside. The abandoned Pali junction was nowhere in sight. As the train pulled into the station, Rohit quickly disembarked, his heart still racing. He turned back for one last glance at the Palace Express. For a brief second, he saw a shadow standing by the engine, an old railway conductor, tipping his hat, before vanishing into thin air. Rohit knew he had escaped, but the train would ride again, waiting for its next unsuspecting passenger. And so, my friends, remember, if you ever board a train in the dead of night and it stops at a station that doesn't exist, do not look outside. For once you see them, they see you too. If you enjoyed this suspenseful story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more spine-chilling tales. See you in the next one.